Good evening and welcome to Sunset News. I am Aina Kweyo, bringing you news, community stories, weather, economic news, and so much more on this Thursday evening in the news tonight. Namibian researchers have made a world-first leap forward that could reduce the cost of constructing housing by using composite material as a substitute for more conventional cement, aimed at revolutionizing Namibia's housing industry by offering an alternative to cement. Researchers under the stewardship of Dr. Enoud Nawamab, Vice Chancellor of Namibia University of Science and Technology, have managed to secure patent registration of the weather-resistant flame retardant composite material invention. This research took close to 10 years to complete, from basic science research to prototype, and IP protection was conducted in both Namibia and Germany with raw material from Namibia. The patent awarded by the German Patent and Trademark Office under the facilitation of the Leibniz Institution for New Materials in November last year comes at a time when Namibia is struggling with a housing crisis. According to 2023 data from the Czech Dwellers Federation of Namibia, the country has 299 informal settlements with over 231,000 Czechs, with a population of over 997,000 people. Moab, the Namibian principal investigator, said the invention aims to assist the construction industry with low-cost housing, safety, and potentially environmental sustainability. Moving over to our next story, the Ministry of International Relations and Corporations have proposed a budget allocation of about 964 million to carry out its mandate. The Minister, Dr. Pierre Moshelenga, in his budget motivation for 2024-2025 financial year, said that within this budget, 7.5%, equivalent to 70 million Namibian dollars, is dedicated to the development budget. He said that this allocation will fund crucial capital projects both at diplomatic missions abroad and at the headquarters, as well as the completion of Namibia International Women Peace Center. The ministry's primary emphasis will be on renovation of properties to enhance efficiency and functionality. Moshelenga added that 80% of the budget is susceptible to the impact of exchange rates fluctuations. He said the remaining 93% of the budget, equivalent to about 849 million Namibian dollars, is dedicated to operational expenses, driving 5 programs of the ministry. These programs include the Regional and Bilateral Relations and Cooperation Program, for which a sum of 19.9 million Namibian dollars has been earmarked. Moshelenga said that the funds set aside for this program are aimed at advancing economic diplomacy by way of promoting investment, trade, and tourism between Namibia and other countries on bilateral level. Furthermore, he said that a notable focus is placed on development cooperation partners, particularly on the enhancement of traditional South-South alliances, emphasizing the importance of expanding collaboration in various areas such as industrialization, trade, human resource development, technology sharing, cultural exchanges, and tourism. For the Multilateral Policy Coordination Program, 153 million Namibian dollars have been allocated, of which 78% is dedicated to regional and international organization member fees. Moving over to our next story, the Minister of Education, Arts and Culture, Esther Ngipondoka, has revealed the completion of a primary school in Otavi and the school hall and kitchen at the Tsaraha Abes Primary School in Ochuarongo. This also includes the completion of 4 school hostels in the Kavango West region and Zambezi region. The project was completed as grant support from the government of the People's Republic of China. To this end, the ministry has constructed a record number of 510 classrooms and 70 ablution facilities through the procurement agreement with August 26 construction during the 2023-2024 financial year. She highlighted that the provision of the conducive teaching and learning environment is vital to the attainment of positive education results. For this reason, the ministry continues to invest significantly in the rehabilitation and development of physical education facility countrywide. The timely completion of the construction of the above classroom has eased the recurrent learners enrollment woes for mainly pre-primary grade 1 and grade 8 learners when the schools reopen in January for the 2024 academic year. More classrooms, Ngipondoka further noted that given the success of the ministry's engagement with August 26 construction and the persisting need for additional classrooms in various regions, the construction of 512 classrooms under the same arrangement has commenced. Now, in our final top story, this week, Namibia welcomed Colonel Lee Chun-jun, the Chinese Defense Attaché. Brigadier General Nathaniel Ngolo welcomed the new Defense Attaché on behalf of the Chief of the Namibian Defense Force, Air Marshal Martin Pinias. In his address, he emphasizes that this is a proof of the strong ties between NDF and the People's Liberation Army of China, adding that there are opportunities to strengthen cooperation to promote peace and security in the land of the brave. During his welcoming reception, Colonel Lee Chun-jun stated that the People's Liberation Army and the Namibia Defense Force have both experienced a painful and longer growth process, and that both have made undeniable contributions to the country's independence, democracy, and development. Have a look.
It is my honor and pleasure to be posted in Namibia, the land of the brave. Before I arrived here 1 month ago, when I searched on the internet to get some impression of this country, 3 words appeared most frequently. They are one of the most beautiful countries in Africa, a must-visit travel destination, and a traditional friend of China. After 1 month living here, I found out the internet was telling the truth. I was surprised by the landscape and the order of the society. The profound friendship between China and Namibia has a long history. So is the friendship and brotherhood between our armed forces. The People's Liberation Army and the Namibian Defense Force have a lot in common. Both have experienced a painful and long growth process. Both have made indelible contribution to the country's independence, democracy, and development. Both are constantly fighting to protect the stability of the country, the happiness of the people, and world peace. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to provide a clearer picture of China and PLA, I would like to emphasize the following 4 points. First, China is firmly committed to the path of peaceful development. This is the solemn commitment made by the Chinese government to the Chinese people and people around the world. It has been explicitly written into the Constitution of China. China has never provoked a war or conflict, nor has it ever invaded another country or taken an inch of land from others. No matter how strong it becomes in the future, China shall never threaten anyone, seek hegemony, or establish spheres of influence.
After the break, we return with economic news. Stay with us. In economic news tonight, Namibian Breweries Limited CEO Peter Simons says the company sold less beer because of reduced consumer spending and inflationary pressures. Simon made the comments during the company's result presentation for the half financial year ended 2023. The brewers reported an operating profit of 309.6 million Namibian dollars for the half year ended. NBL recently took control of the Distell Group, which houses brands that include the ciders brand Savannah, Brandy brand Richelieu, and a popular wine Castello, which Simons says has shown remarkable growth in the Namibian market. Here is an insight from his presentation. Have a look.
And even within the beer category, if you look at the mainstream segment, and to be fair, that's where we are playing, consumers are extremely price sensitive. They will really choose value for money, because the money they have in their pocket is becoming less and less. That's the reality. The reality was as well that the inflation also hit us. So we had to take price increases to cover the cost increase. While competitors did not take price increases, if we look at the last 18 months. And in some areas, even some of our competitors increased the amount, the depth and frequency of their price promotions, what didn't help. So overall, if you look at the total beer category, and we use a third-party Frontline to measure that for us, the total beer category in 2023 went backwards, and quite significant.
And now let's have a look at our economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades for 23 Namibian dollars 52 cents to 1 British pound, 20 Namibian dollars 21 cents to 1 euro, 18 Namibian dollars 62 cents to 1 US dollar. All commodities have dropped. Two commodities have dropped rather, which is gold and Brent crude oil with 0.22% and 0.28% respectively, while platinum and copper have increased with 0.14% and 0.60% respectively. Well, after the break, we return with our story of the day. Stay with us. Swakopmund Mayor Ndina Namubes highlights the several council achievements at the recent council meeting. Council also addressed a new change of ownership transfer process. Have a look.
Following the presentations, the community was given the opportunity to express their concerns and challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that we can establish common ground as a community by collaborating and making decisions that benefit everyone. We all share responsibility for ensuring that the decisions we make represent our community's beliefs, needs, and aspirations. Furthermore, as part of our community engagement, the Office of the Mayor has an open door policy where we allow residents to come and share their concerns and try to connect them to the relevant department to address their issues. During March, we hosted a total of 7 community members. I would like to encourage the community members to make time to visit the municipality to raise their concerns. Our Chief Executive Officer and the General Managers, alongside the staff, are capable and always willing to assist. Ladies and gentlemen, as part of our stakeholder engagement, also, on 18 March 2024, Council had a benchmarking visit from Ganzi district of Botswana. The purpose of the visit was to exchange knowledge and forge possible partnerships, as well as thrive towards excellent service delivery in our respective cities. As Council, we value ongoing learning and the interchange of ideas and expertise. On the same 18th of March, the Governor, in conjunction with the Swakopmund Municipality, hosted a press conference where we clarified any misunderstandings around the storage of radioactive materials in the town. With regards to crime prevention, Mr. Philippe Laporte donated a total of 6 bicycles towards crime prevention initiative. This resulted from the safety meeting that we held last year in fight against crime. In our efforts to combat crime, the municipality of Swakopmund initiated a safety forum where relevant crime prevention stakeholders meet monthly to discuss and implement mitigating factors to combat the increase of criminal activities in Swakopmund.
After the break, we return with international news. Stay with us. In international news tonight, following her resignation as National Assembly Speaker and Member of Parliament on Wednesday night, Nosiviwe Mapisa Gakula has handed herself over to the police. She arrived at the Littleton police station in Tshwane earlier on Thursday morning after the Pretoria High Court dismissed her application to block her arrest for corruption allegations on Tuesday. Mapisa had approached the court last week to block her arrest pending the handing over of her docket. A convoy that was seen leaving her home made its way to the police station, reports the SABC. The convoy was later seen leaving the station. She is set to face charges of 12 counts of corruption involving 4.5 million rand, dating back to when she was defense minister. She is expected to make her first court appearance today. She announced her resignation on Wednesday evening in a letter to acting Speaker of the National Assembly, Lichesa Tsenoli. The resignation is effective immediately, although she expressed that this was not an admission of guilt. Here is more on this story, courtesy of Reuters. Moving over to our next story. 3 former Supreme Court justices have joined more than 600 members of the British legal profession in calling for government to hold arms sales to Israel, saying it could make Britain complicit in genocide in Gaza. Echoing the growing members of the opposition politicians who have called for a halt to British arms sale, the 3 justices joined other barristers, former judges and legal academics in urging Prime Minister Rishi Sunak to change the policy. Sunak has faced growing political pressure after 7 aid workers, including 3 British nationals were killed by an Israeli airstrike in the besieged enclave this week. The provision of military assistance and material to Israel may render the UK complicit in genocide as well as serious breaches of international humanitarian law, the judges and barristers says in a 17-page letter. Customary international law recognizes the concept of aiding and assisting an international wrongful act. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has called the allegations of genocide outrageous and said Israel has an unwavering commitment to international law. One of the former Justice, Jonathan Sumption, told BBC Radio he was concerned the British government had lost sight of its need to prevent genocide. Britain sells explosive devices, assault rifles, and military aircrafts to Israel, but it is a relatively small supply, with Israeli exports making up to 0.4% of Britain's total global defense sale in 2022. The last full year data was available. The lawyers cited the fact that the International Court of Justice had in January ordered Israel to refrain from any acts that could fall under the Genocide Convention, plus the growing fear of famine. Now let's have a look at weather after the break. Stay with us. Here are the weather predictions for tomorrow. Now Katima Mulilo can expect a minimum of 20 degrees, while Rundu and Enana can expect a minimum of 19 degrees, 18 degrees minimum for Tsumeb and Khobabes. Hantesvai can expect a maximum of 19 degrees, while Swakopmund can expect a maximum of 17 degrees, Keetmanshoop 31 degrees, and Aranos Keetmanshoop 30 degrees, and Aranos 31 degrees. After the break shortly, we take a look at our sports package courtesy of Sports Rep.
Good everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with Premier League football, English Football League, and it is games that was played in midweek. It is the top three that's in action this week, and two of the top three already won. It was Manchester City that had a convincing win against Aston Villa. The score there was 4-1, and it's also Arsenal that also stay on top of the league, or they're back on top of the league, and that is after beating Luton Town by 2-0. It's Arsenal that now have 68 points, one more than Liverpool, and Liverpool still have a game in hand. They will play a home game against Sheffield United, also a midweek game. So Arsenal 68 points, then Liverpool with 67 points, and it is Manchester City also with 67 points, also after 30 games. Next games for these top three clubs will be over the weekend. All three will play away games. It's Arsenal away to Brighton. That will be on Saturday. Also Manchester City, also a away game. They will play away against Crystal Palace. And then Liverpool, a very big game for them, away to Manchester United. And that could be a determining game in the English Premier League. What's going to happen, who's going to win the title. Moving on to golf news, and it's the Masters golf tournament that's going to start for men next week, and Rory McIlroy in the news. Rory McIlroy trying to become only the sixth player to win all four majors, and it is just the Masters that he still need to win. He's won before the British Open, also the US Open and the US PGA. In his attempt to win the tournament, he is linking up with a very experienced coach, and that is Butch Harmon. Butch Harmon also used to coach Tiger Woods, and it is Rory McIlroy working with Butch Harmon in this week leading up to the Masters, trying to improve his form. In this year in the PGA Tour so far, he's only been in the top 20 once. Some of the other players that has won all four majors before include very big names. It includes Tiger Woods, also it is Gary Player and Jack Nicklaus, just to name some of them. And to conclude today's international sports news, it's tennis news. It is the Credit One clay tournament on the WTA Women's Tour that continue. That is in Charleston in the USA. And some of the results I can mention: higher seeds, Alina Katalina, she's from the Ukraine. She beat the experienced Caroline Wozniacki 6-2, 6-3. That is in the round of 32. And also victories for Victoria Azarenko. She beat Emma Corretexi. She's from Italy. It scored there 6-1 and 6-2. And then some of the lower seeds that also through to the next round, also in the round of 32, is Beatriz Haddad Maia. She's from Brazil. She got the better of Caroline Dolcehyde. She's from the USA. 6-2 and 7-5 that score. And all the tournaments now being played on clay. And this leading up to Roland Garros. That will be the first major of the year for the men and women. That will start later in May in France. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we'll talk international sports news again tomorrow. Goodbye.
Thank you very much for joining us tonight on Sunset News. Please be reminded that you can watch Sunset News on Facebook on all NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website oneup2.com. Sunset News screens on DSTV 285 and GoTV channel 25 every weekday from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. This has been Sunset News. Please don't end your day without us. Good night.